Playing a musical instrument is fun. However, more than half of the beginners give up. Most people think giving up on playing a musical instrument is normal. They don't even doubt it because it's true, but think about it. Isn't it a tragedy that more than half of the beginners give up? Isn't it a tragedy that the instrument you bought turns into trash? What if more than half of the frustrated people can overcome the early stages of challenges when learning an instrument? If that happens all over the world, not just in one country, how much music lovers will fill the world? There are so many bad news coming in every day, but wouldn't the world be a bit better if more people all over the world are singing and playing instruments? In that case, shouldn't we just save those frustrated people? We don't know if it's possible or not unless we try. Even if it fails, it's worth a try. If there's an instrument you can sing along and bring everywhere, that'd be great, right? An instrument that can play chords and rhythms, and that doesn't cover our mouth. That would probably be an acoustic guitar. The action of playing an instrument can be classified into the following two states. Imagine a beginner following the exact instruction given and accurately playing the notes one by one. Those are all played precisely according to the instructions. The instructions refer to the pitch, timing, length of note, strength, and so on. Let's call that state as being technical. On the other hand, there's another beginner who is like previous beginner, following each one of the notes exactly, but this one is using his ears and judging whether it sounds musically beautiful as he plays. Let's call this state as playing music. Although the two seem to be the same, they are actually quite different. For example, there are games like Tiger Drum Master and Drum Mania that you score points by hitting the pad at the right time. I'm sure there's many over here that can get a full score. Those games are all about hitting at that exact timing and not about how musically beautiful it sounds. This is what I want you to think as the state of being technical. The latter, the beginners who reach the state of playing music, are much stronger than the prior. What matters here is that at the same time, they feel the difficulties as they should. There are some YouTube videos and books stating instruments are easy and you can play without any efforts. However, it is a fact that instruments are not easy. Considering the endless possibilities of expressions it possesses, of course it's hard. Instruments are fun because it isn't easy. Those who discover the joy and the value of playing music are much stronger than the prior. Essentially, the process of set wax on any instrument is the same. Most people are giving up at the being technical stage. In other words, they are discouraged, claiming that instruments are too hard and boring without knowing the value of the state of playing music. Relating it to the guitar, you try your best to press this finger and this finger and this finger on this string, firmly pressing this string and carefully at this timing as you pay attention not to hit this string and this string, blah blah blah. You get through the kind of big technical state and do your best to make it sound like an action song, but your arms and shoulders start to hurt, so you call it a day and eventually give up. In that case, I wonder if we can minimize this being technical state. For example, minimizing the places to hold ideally about 1 to 2 fingers and not having to each specific strings. If the troublesome being technical state is reduced, then maybe you can actually play music as you check if it sounds musically beautiful using your ears. Sounds like it's too good, but it's true. Okay then, let's make that one problem to solve. Actually, before that, there's another tragedy that's a bit troubling. I often see beginners saying that they've been trying many years but can't play most of the chords. When I take a look at their guitars, most of the wood necks are bent like bows. You can barely call it an instrument. Even professionals wouldn't be able to play it. 6 metal strings stretched on the guitar, all pulling that thin wood at the same force as the weight of one adult. Those beginners who don't know that buy the cheap, terrible guitars online, and that's why these tragedies happen. It's not their fault. They don't even know that guitars can be deformed and be useless. When they practice hard with those guitars, they are going to hate it because they just can't play it right. And then they end up giving up. When I met those people, I said, just try with this guitar, and handed them a very ordinary guitar. They were surprised, like, it's so easy to play, why? It's like magic. People who realize that are very lucky. I'm sorry for the countless numbers of people who don't even know that it's the guitar's fault. They misunderstand that it's their fault, lacking the skills, without anyone helping them. It's necessary to judge the condition of the instruments, which also require skills. It's great if you have some friends who has those skills, but it's rare, and that's why so many are frustrated. This is quite a big problem. It will be okay if we have something that can let us know whether the guitar functions fine. Well, let's make that our second problem to solve. Wait a minute. If those problems are solved, the number of beginners frustrated by guitars will sharply decrease. Well, why don't we just make it? In fact, we did. We invented it. This pretty tiny thing is called Qactus. Everyone can easily attach it to the guitar like this. First, let's solve from the problem of guitar deformed like a bow. I would like to let those beginners who don't know the possibility that guitars can be deformed easily if it's not a good one. Actually, Qactus is designed so that it doesn't function properly on deformed guitars. Specifically, when you try playing something on deformed guitars with Qactus, no matter how hard you try, the strings don't play the proper pitch, and you only hear some rustling sound. No matter who plays it, it's obvious that it was because of the guitar. In other words, even if the person who can advise is not close to you, if you have Qactus, it can save the beginners who are frustrated with the condition of the guitar. Now, one of the difficult problems we had is solved. Well, let's solve the other difficult problem we still have. To minimize the state of being technical state in the early stages, which is where more than half of the beginners give up at, and to be at the state of playing music. Actually, the guitar with Qactus will automatically have open strings that harmonize easily with some specific keys. The number of strings to hold down decrease, so it's easier, which means that the most troubling part is facilitated. The theory behind this is really complicated, so I'll skip that for your sanity. In addition, because the mechanism of Qactus automatically processes strings that should not be played, beginners are allowed to strum all 6 strings. It releases you from the difficulties of strumming the right string. With these functions, depending on the song, You can quickly play with only one or two fingers, so you can listen while you play and enter the state of playing music, considering if you are sounding musically beautiful. The person without any previous experience on any musical instrument will realize that I'm playing the song or something like that. The being technical state can be an enemy for beginners sometimes. While the state of playing music is definitely fun and impressive, in this state, beginners pick up the guitar every day and keep playing for a long time unconsciously. They get the hang of the fingerings. In other words, while you are playing with Qactus, you will have the practical power against the being technical state without even knowing it. You can graduate Qactus then and keep improving by yourself. Well, I think we have solved the two major problems. Maybe this will increase the number of people singing and playing instruments around the world. The world may get a bit better. But actually, there's still a big problem. Even if the world got a bit better, the hardest thing is to keep that continuing. Qactus has created some huge problems, so don't you think that that is possible as well? Peace is meaningless unless it's permanent. Well, let's make that our last problem to solve. To play with Qactus, you need something to indicate the fingerings arranged for Qactus and not general teaching materials. So I prepared Qactus score, the score for Qactus on the internet. With this, even people without any previous experience on any musical instrument will be able to play songs with Qactus immediately. Unfortunately, to write Qactus score requires some knowledge of harmony, so it cannot be arranged by anyone. But I think people who love music will naturally learn it, have a lot more fun. It's worth it. Wouldn't it be great if various songs around the world are constantly arranged for Qactus and uploaded online often? But who will do that? Well, I can do it, but I don't think I can stay healthy for the next 100 years. So I released a method on the internet, so please take a look. It's something I can publish as a really expensive book, but I'll be nice. I'm publishing it for free. I want many people to read it and post your Qactus score to improve your music skills, and for beginners all over the world. Your music skills will help strangers in foreign countries. Isn't this nice? It's exactly the spirit of harmony. Harmony is made up of various things that don't usually harmonize together. Harmony is an important conscious movement in creating band ensemble, one that requires a very high level skill to overcome the difference. It's not possible for anyone. That's why it's worthwhile. Though there are certain checks by the officials, Qactus score can be posted by anyone. While we're still doing our best to support it, this will start to function properly on a global scale. Those who post Qactus score will enhance their musical skills and save the beginners around the world who will eventually post their Qactus score and continue the spirit of harmony on and on. If people around the world can become tolerant and respectful of each other's difference, the world will become a structure that can easily solve problems a little more than now. I think that is world peace. Although everyone knows about the tragedy that the number of beginners who gave up still continues to increase, there's no outstanding effective solution. And as a result, numerous guitars are left unused all over the world. It's up to your mind whether you doubt that giving up is normal. We should have already had something several decades ago. I wished that there was something invented earlier as a worldwide culture that will rescue the beginners around the world and increase the number of music lovers. I'm dreaming of a world, maybe 500 years from now, that giving up is out of the question when people touch an instrument. A peaceful world filled with music lovers, living in harmony. Thank you.